Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel the Teej. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's going to clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's going to open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is going to protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is going to make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Teej has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night. And because Teej is a sponsor, they're offering my family 30% off along with a free gift. Just click that link that's in the description and feel the Teej. Maintaining your beard isn't just style, it's self-respect. A well-grown beard boosts confidence and leaves a lasting impression. Elevate your look. Embrace the importance of beard care today. But the topic is, are women required to cook today? The average man would say yes. The wealthy men just want a trophy woman, and they don't care. But I'm going to go ahead and play this clip and get you guys perspectives on this. This is the icebreaker. Let's go.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Baby, Super Bowl Sunday.
The hamburger helper ready?
Hamburger helper.
Cheddar cheese?
Cheddar cheese. Try it, baby. Try it.
Cheddar?
Cheddar. Cheddar cheese. Oh, you got the Bel Air. Okay. Bomb? Yeah.
Bomb diggity?
Yeah. Yeah.
Only a boss will do it this big. Hamburger helper. Cheddar. Beef. Biggest. Luke Belair. Super Bowl big game Sunday like a boss. Now she the first person in the history to have a hamburger helper. Dang. We couldn't even get that away.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Are women required to cook today? Gentlemen, are they required? Is this an average guy mentality? I mean, obviously Rick Ross has millions, so I think he was being a little bit funny. It seemed kind of odd just seeing her cook, because I don't even think wealthy men's wives or girlfriends, I don't think they're cooking. I think they're going out to eat, or either they hiring private chefs. But I want to get you guys' perspectives. Are women required to cook today? Go ahead and go to Louise first.
I would hope so. I mean, how are the kids gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? Can't be eating out every single night and feeding them, cardboard food. I would say this. Look, I think there's a box set of skills that people need to have. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to life skills, cooking being one of them, and understanding like just balanced nutrition. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that you have in your kitchen? What is it that you have readily available? Like, what are you consuming? You know what I'm saying? Because like eating out, like for the gram and stuff like that's not every day. You know what I'm saying? That's like once a week, maybe once every other week. But you definitely gotta be mindful of what you eat, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, women today are raising women to be wives and learn how to cook, because it's an important essential. And a lot of dudes, I find that a lot of dudes today are also learn how to cook as well, because you know what I'm saying, it's a life essential. So yeah, I think that women are required to cook in this time era.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Shannon. Like, absolutely yes. I'm gonna go to you, Kenny. What are your thoughts about that? You think that's an average man mentality? If you have money, would you require your woman to cook?
If I have money, most definitely. If the stipulation is, if I was in a position where I could alleviate her and put her back in a traditional role, which most women aren't nowadays. And that's a stretch at that point in time. When you have a non-traditional woman now, there's certain exceptions that might have to be made. You can't like fund that if both of y'all is working and she's working and she's like, I'm not cooking. And that's a small argument that you don't want. But a man of means, you should get what you want. Most likely, I would like my woman cook. I would like to at least hit the door and smell the aroma of something nice on the stove. And as for putting my foot down, but I know a woman that recognizes a man of means, that's an allotment I think she can make.
Okay, go ahead, Trev. What are your thoughts about it, sir? Are you requiring that woman to be able to cook? So you got millions in the bank, man. You got some investments, so you ain't got to be out there in the field working because money is just being made in your sleep. You still gonna require her to cook?
I think Kenny kind of got it right there when he said, what he was basically explaining is there's nuance to it, right? So it depends. I know some wealthy gentlemen who still like it that their wife cooks because it's nothing like a home cooked meal. Even if you get a professional, right? It's a different touch to it when it's just that home cooked meal. It's very difficult to source somebody that'll do that. Plus, I don't really like people in my house. I don't care how much money I got. If I had housekeeping come over like once a week or something, that's one thing. But I don't want anybody constantly roaming there. And then it's more than one meal in a day. It's 3 meals in a day. I want somebody in my house all day, like cooking that I don't know. I don't like strangers. I like privacy. I like to be, I don't want anybody inside of my house outside of my nuclear family. That's just how I feel about it. And there's a lot of wealthy people who feel the same. They just don't want a bunch of people in their house all the time, right? I think the main thing that you have to figure out is during the vetting process, you have to understand what type of woman that you're vetting. If you really want somebody who's going to cook and you don't, then you need to make sure that you put that on the table in the beginning. If these are the type of things, if this is the type of lifestyle you want, cool. There's some women who do have to work, and some of them are out earning the men, and they still cook. Some women just like to cook, right? Some men like to cook more. I cook once in a while just because I want to stay sharp, right? And some women come in not knowing how to cook, but I wouldn't mind teaching a woman how to cook as long as she is willing to learn, right? So it all depends on preference, but I believe it's completely personal. It's just something that you just have to make sure that you work out with that partner, whatever your arrangement is going to be, and stick to it. I'll leave it there for now.
All right, Trev. So you're gonna teach her how to cook. So you know how to cook. Hey, Kitty, you know how to cook?
Yeah, mom taught me early. I'm West Indian.
Okay. What about you, Luis?
I do know how to cook. I actually learned how to cook from my father, who was actually a chef before anything else.
Okay. I'm gonna say that I believe you guys. There's a few women I've actually.
No, that's real.
I'm
That's
saying,
real.
I can post mine.
Kenny hit it right. West Indian culture, they cook, man. That's no game. I grew up in a Guyanese household, and we learned to cook. Right. I taught my daughter, and my wife taught my daughter when she was like a toddler. My son too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you learn when you're a toddler, how to cook. That's just in there. You have to do it like that.
My mom was strict on that. She was like, "Don't have no woman spinning you around. You're gonna learn how to turn the pot and cook a dumpling, and then you move on from that point." And that's also an impressive part where you bring to the table for certain women. A woman know you can cook. That gets you right in the door, right quick, a little bit quicker.
Okay. Based off my experience, most of the women that I've experienced said that they know how to cook. But I'm just curious, Trev and Kenny, what is something that you notice right off the bat when a woman doesn't know how to cook? Like, what's something that you notice? Oh, okay, she really don't know how to cook.
Well, the ones that I have met that I've made bad mistakes with, those are the ones that I see that have been spoiled. One, to conform to certain lifestyles of this new modern age where they have give me and want in their mouth and they're quick to grab a menu. And I don't like to stereotype women, but that came hand in hand with the dates that I've been having with like certain females. It was like, okay, where are we going to go eat? I'm not hearing nothing about, let me fix you something. Let me impress you with just like something simple. and it seems to follow suit. And I don't like stereotyping women, but it is what it is.
I can't say that for sure. I'll be honest. I taught my wife to cook. I met her when she was very young, though, so it was at an age where it was still acceptable, in a way. But she was willing to, and that's the difference, right? So as long as if she's still nurturing, right? She has to have a nurturing spirit. She has to want to be able to do it. She has to be willing to be able to do it. Now, not everybody grows up in a household who cooks. That's just not the reality. But that doesn't mean that they're a bad individual. Right now, it's no excuse because there's YouTube University. No matter what, if you want to learn how to cook, you can learn to cook. So I'm not even trying to hear it now, but back when I was way younger, you could. Some people just didn't know. They would try. They would know how to do simple stuff. But as far as like really burning down, they may not have had the opportunity. There are some parents that are like, don't be messing up my pots. Don't be. There's some parents that are really just won't let you cook, even if you wanted to. So their first opportunity to be able to really cook was after leaving home.
All right. I'm going to go to Marcus, but one of the things that I notice when somebody doesn't really know how to cook is when they have to give you a statement before they hand you your plate. They're already trying to let you know that this typically is not what happens, but, I'll do better next time. And or one of the things is when you hear a scream because it's chaos on the stove. That's one of the things that I've noticed that someone is not so much as a good cook as they say they are, which is understandable, right? It's almost like seasoning, right? Like once you do too much, then that's when you get chaos, but you can always build up to it. So it shouldn't be any reason as to why there should ever be chaos on the stove if you know what you're doing. But go ahead, Marcus. Are women required to cook? What are your thoughts about it, sir?
So my wife couldn't cook either when we first got together. Thanks to me working with her, being patient, and HelloFresh, she cooked like 5 times a week. So and that should be bomb as fuck. When we talk about the chaos, I experienced that before. So I was dating this girl. She was like cheerleader from Rockets or whatever, right? And she told me she knew how to cook from Texas. She flew down to Indiana when I was in college and called herself about to fry some chicken. She filled the grease up to the brim on the kettle, bread the chicken, frozen. I hop in the shower. I take my phone in the bathroom, hop in the shower, and all I hear is, "Oh my God, oh my God." She's screaming. I come out, the damn kitchen on fire, bro.
In your name of Jesus.
So I'm trying to fight the fire. I was young still. I didn't really realize that water made it that much worse. So I threw a little cup, that shit. So then I got something to smother it. Tell me why the whole time I'm fighting this fire, guess what this girl was in the bathroom doing? Take a wild guess what she was doing while I'm out here being fucking Smokey the Bear.
Drying her hair.
Going through my phone, bro.
Oh my God. Well, that was the trap. That right there was the trap. She probably threw something. Phone. She tried to attempt to burn down the house through the kitchen just to go through your phone.
Going through my phone. Yeah. That shit was wild. And it was like the second or third date too. Like I wasn't really like into it like that. I say, all right. I made her sleep in the I ain't gonna tell you, but I ain't fuck with her the rest of that trip. She wasn't in the bed with me until it was time for her to go. Do you have to know how to cook? I don't think so, but I agree with what Trev said. I think you have to be nurturing. I have to want to, please the person that you with. And if that's something that the man or even the woman really wants, I think it should behoove you to try and get to that. It should behoove you to try and get to that.
Wow.
That shit was crazy.
It's an incredible story, man. I had something like that happen to me, but it wasn't the cooking. Go ahead, Sweeney. Are women required to cook today?
That was pure comedy. Oh man, that story just got worse as he kept telling it. All right, are women required to cook today? Yeah. Are they required to cook well? I don't think so. I don't think most people are required to cook well.
What?
You know what I mean? Most people just going through most people be in the kitchen just trying shit. If you're like you start with your 4 basic meals, which is your chicken Alfredo, your fried chicken, box mac and cheese, and some rice, and then that's most people. And then when you start getting into the upper echelon but no, I don't think most people are required to cook well. They required to cook because you got to eat, but nah. As far as is that a rich man thing? What kind of money are we talking? Are we talking more money than I know how to spend than I can spend?
I would say if you're able to eat out like 5 times a week and still be comfortable. I mean, nice restaurants, and you're not even tripping about what the bill is.
It's not.
More money than I know how to spend. Cause that's about so for me to be able to eat out 5 times a week. That's how much money I gotta have.
Yeah, you said wealthy at first. Wealthy. So just think of wealthy.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't give a shit. To a certain degree, I probably wouldn't give a shit. Like she would know, like we would know how to cook, but I probably wouldn't. If I'm got more money than I know how to spend, I'm probably not gonna hire a chef, but we probably gonna eat out a lot though.
I don't know.
You don't like when she bring your food to you? You don't like enjoy that feeling?
Not even that. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know how that feels to have that much money to where you can eat out every single day and not give a shit. So I'm just speaking from a perspective that I've never even experienced before. I have to cook. We have to cook because we don't have that kind of money. So speaking from a person who already cooks because we have to, I don't know what it felt like to not have enough money where you no longer ever have to cook again. So,
Sweeney, you don't dream. You don't have visions and daydream about stuff or how it like Ray's Boom Boom Room. You don't do that.
well, I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In this moment, y'all asking me a question like, if you had more money than you knew how to spend, would cooking be on the list of things that's a requirement? Nah, man, probably not.
You just answered it. There's something endearing, real quick, about that video that you showed. I know the girl that he's messing with. I saw her. She's not the one that you think would be in the kitchen. You think she'd be that one that wants to do Nobu and all those places. And the endearing thing is that as fine as she is, she can go make some beef and macaroni for him off the stove when she doesn't even look the type to make it. You could tell by how she was making it, certain things wasn't there. But the love that she put into it and how he appreciated it, that's what I was paying attention to.
Yeah, my speaking of what is funny because my wife just made hamburger helper tonight. She made her own homemade version of it that she learned from my sister. It was kind of good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, I did want to answer this question, JR. You said how do you know when somebody doesn't know how to cook? I don't know if I know if somebody doesn't know how to cook, but I know when you do know how to cook. When your food is being requested by people outside of just their immediate family, so like their kids ain't the only one, or like their wife or their husband, you know they know how to cook. So like if other people outside the family like, hey man, you need to bring that such and such over here, they at least know how to get that dish right.
So then would you say that the air fryer is cooking?
Yeah. Shit. I mean, what's the difference between an air fryer and an oven?
Damn, what is wrong with you motherfuckers, man?
It's
What?
not. It's not traditional cooking. It's
How do you traditionally cook chicken? I mean, like let's say you're talking about chicken, right? You can either air fry it, deep fry it, or oven bake it. Like what do we
you can saute it too.
or that? But like
You talking about?
I don't know how that's not a method of cooking.
I think it's I think it's a cultural thing. I think at this point, you know, given what Marcus has shared, Sweeney, and you know, a couple of other brothers, I really resonate with Smooth. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a cultural thing, right? Because I never grew up in an environment where we just ate out like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just more for like special moments, things like that. We actually look forward to the different dishes, the different variations, and you know what I'm saying, Sunday dinners, or you know what I'm saying, like my mom trying a new different recipe. I just never really captivated or moved towards like this eating out culture all the time. Like, do I eat out? Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? I step out. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, I cook. And then also like I grew up in a household where we all cook. You know what I'm saying? So I think I think everybody has their own personal anecdotal experience. But I think that today, the sentiment in the spirit of today's dating culture and how people view relationships, some people feel like they don't have to learn how to cook, or they don't that. And I'm saying that people need to. If they're coming together to make something work together, you're going to need life skills, because your child, like I said in the beginning, your child isn't going to eat fucking cardboard food all the time. You know what I'm saying? Eating out, that's not healthy for them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to set the standard and the precedent example in your home.
I can tell you right now, if you look at what's going on today, there's a lot of people trying to learn how to cook. There's a reason why all those Instagram pages that are people cooking are starting to become way more popular. Because if you go to McDonald's today, that food don't cost the same amount like it used to. For it used to be you could feed 3-4 people under $20. Now it's costing you damn near $40-$50 just to eat at McDonald's now. So a lot of people are being forced to learn how to cook. Now you may have to start from the, you know, burn up the kitchen like Marcus girl did, but a lot of us don't have no choice but to learn how to, because food is way too expensive at those restaurants now. And we just talking fast food.
All right, go ahead, Hank, man. I seen you had a little bit of disagreement with somebody. You said, what's wrong with these people on the panel?
Man, I don't, y'all, I can tell you, I ain't from no South. I never had a woman from the South. Because ain't no damn way you sit there and the question be, is air fryer cooking? Air fryer ain't cooking. That's you just warming your food up with an air fryer.
Damn, you don't know how to use an air fryer.
No, Sweeney, you don't know how to cook, because you said macaroni and cheese out of a box.
I said what most people do. I didn't say I don't know how to make macaroni and cheese.
No, Sweeney, you said box macaroni and cheese.
I said what most people do. I didn't say that I did it.
Sweetie,
with the powdered cheese.
You should have never said that shit with that liquid cheese.
So most people out here cooking macaroni and cheese from scratch.
Yes.
No, they're not. That is false.
You don't know about, again.
Most people are cooking macaroni and cheese.
They're trying to.
South, you come to the South, man, they gonna slap the shit out of you.
You ain't got a lot. You ain't got a lot of kicking. Most people ain't doing it.
Dude, I said the South. Come to the South.
There's a reason why the shelves for the macaroni and cheese section are empty, because everybody's cooking that box shit.
Because they don't know how to cook.
I didn't disagree with that.
Any woman that says she made you macaroni and cheese, but she can't cook. That's an insult.
I don't disagree with that.
But then why was your first go to? Yeah, macaroni and cheese out of box.
I said you didn't hear what I said. You didn't listen to what I said.
All right, well, I ain't gonna go back for it. I'm gonna let you live, Sweeney. I'm gonna let you live with your mac and cheese.
You just assume some shit.
And I'm gonna let you live with your mac and cheese and your hamburger helper. Look, hamburger helper's not cooking a goddamn meal. Your 8-year-old daughter could cook a damn hamburger helper. It don't take no skills to make hamburger helper. So I don't give her a pass for that video, for that bullshit. That's some bullshit. I don't care how rich I am. You gotta learn how to cook. I don't cook. My lady cooks for me. Only time I cook is when I get on the grill. That's the only time I cook. Other than that, she does all the cooking.
You don't know.
Now, do I know how to cook? Yeah, I know how to cook. I know how to burn. I know how to get down in the kitchen if I need to.
You don't know how to cook no damn. You don't know how to grill.
I'm from the South.
I don't believe you.
I know you don't, because you think cooking macaroni and cheese out of a box is cooking.
Hey, look.
No, you think hamburger.
Nowhere did I say that, but I don't think you know how to grill. Post your meat. Go ahead. Go pull up a picture of your meat right now.
God
Pause.
damn, Sweeney.
Pause. Super
God.
pause.
I want to see the ribs. I want to see the ribs. Go ahead,
Okay,
grab a
shut
picture
up.
and show us your ribs.
He said it
Next
confident.
man to
Poke
pull
your
it
meat.
straight. Post your meat. Like, pause.
Hey man, you taking too many L's, sweetie.
Hey, look.
You said it with
Hey, look. Hey,
confidence.
you
said
said.
that with
Hey, look. You
success.
said you know how to grill. Go pull up the pictures of your ribs.
Okay. Hey, sweetheart, for you, I'm gonna post a picture. Not only the ribs, the chicken, the salmon. I'm gonna post all that just for you. I got. Look here. I don't play around now. Again, I told you I'm from the South, so I got a drum, a 55-gallon drum barrel grill.
Out there burning the meat.
No.
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
It's not, you're not from the South. Hey, come on down here and learn how to cook. I teach you how to cook macaroni and cheese from scratch. You know, we actually peeling our potatoes, not potatoes out of box like you do, Sweeney. We actually make our stuffing in our dressing, not that stovetop bullshit out of a box.
Who the hell still makes stovetop stuffing?
Who does that?
Hink. Ask him if he knows how to make grits or he do Instagrits.
Hey, man, come on. Everything's out of grits.
Hold on. See, I got the proof that I know what I'm doing. I'm about to pull up the video.
Nobody want to see that book.
I'm about to pull up the video.
Nobody want to see somebody's
You don't want to.
My real real note. For me, it's a requirement for a woman to cook, and for a woman who don't know how to cook, man, it's really sad. It's really sad. You a parent, you got to make sure your kids eat. And so my son shouldn't know how to DoorDash at the age of 5 years old because his mama don't know how to cook. He shouldn't be eating Pop-Tarts and cereal every morning. No, hell no. Feed my kids a good home cooked meal. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be going out to eat at the restaurant every other day. That's not what we're doing. I want to be able to enjoy some leftovers because we made a big old meal and a nice spread. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a requirement for me that my woman cooks. Now, are they doing it now? Are most men not required? I doubt it. I doubt they are. And that's just unfortunate. A lot of men don't know what they're missing out. But I promise you, I bet soon they go to their mama's house, they be right at home looking at their wife, wishing they get in that kitchen, learn something from the mothers.
Hey, that be the difference between like home cooked food and restaurant food. Most of the time, home cooked food, the leftovers, that should be better the next day. It's like the flavor set in more.
Plus the season
that
better.
Should be,
yeah.
Man, it'd be a super hit.
A lot of love put into it.
Yeah, and Hank shoot, she was from the South.
Between them buns, boy.
It look like it's burnt like hell. What the hell?
No, man, what are you talking about? See, now you hate. Now the man hate. Now you hating. It's all good though. It's all good, Hank.
Show it again. Show it again, Sweeney. Show it again. Show your picture again. Sweeney, come on now.
Turn it straight ahead. Yeah, there you go.
Oh shit, Sweeney. What do you got in that water, Sweeney? What do you got in water?
That's my marinade.
That's a gas grill. Oh, you got a goddamn gas grill.
Oh, that's all. First of all, that's all charcoal. What are you talking about? You ain't gotta hate. Look at him trying to hate already.
Man got a gas grill. I can't take you serious.
Here you go. Now you hate. Now you hate.
All right. Man, y'all.
Then your boy was out there with the you dig.
We don't see anything, Sweeney.
Gotta turn it on another angle. Keep turning.
Oh no, I was out there.
With the pellet.
Yeah. No, that wasn't pellet. That was me frying chicken.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
You got to get the fry out like that. How much chicken was you frying? Was that for a church dinner?
I was cooking for a Super Bowl party, so I fried like 100 and some wings.
All right, go ahead, Brother Nelson. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, it's a requirement, but it is nuanced too. It's definitely a lot of it's based on income bracket and like division of responsibility. So if both of y'all working, and both of y'all got the same stresses going on, then you kind of got to balance it out. Like, however you divide up the responsibilities. But if you're the main breadwinner, and you holding everything else down, that's definitely a requirement. Can't nothing beat a home cooked meal. Like I understand if you got the means to go out every night, it's just I don't know. It's something like it's nothing like just it just makes you feel like home. Like I don't feel like I'd be at home without home cooked meals. So that in this day, you know, this is the DoorDash generation, so I don't think there's as much emphasis on it. But I look at it as a requirement still.
Yeah.
Man, you got me thinking about it now, Joe. Some homemade biscuits with some turkey hash. After Thanksgiving, we use whatever left over that turkey. Man, make you some hash, some homemade biscuit with some butter. Shit. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Shannon Ross. Go ahead, take us home with this one. What are your thoughts about it, sir? Are you crying? You crying her to cook?
Oh man, y'all funny. Are women required to cook today? They should be. And everybody I teach or talk to, or any man that I'm giving advice to, I tell them it should be absolutely a deal breaker today. Even though you know the prevailing argument is, oh well, you know, you could just order food, it's easy, you can just pick up your phone and have Uber Eats deliver you something, or you know, we can go out to eat. Like JR even asked a question earlier, and those that okay, so fellas, understand something. This is in my years of experience with women. Women that cannot cook typically cannot run a house. And I'm telling men to expect their women to cook, even if he likes to cook himself. There's a lot of guys out there that like to cook himself, but I'm saying expect to be with a woman that can cook and is willing to cook if you expect to have a somewhat orderly home for the long term. Because that's one of the arguments and that's one of the problems that a lot of people are having. You know, here's a question. What are women needed for? Well, let's remove the old school days where, you know, you had to protect the farm or you had to keep the bears and lions out of the cave. Today in 2024, what are women needed for in a modern man's life? And in my personal opinion, it's 4 things. You need to cook, clean. You need to be the CEO of the home, and you need to raise the kids. The last one is interchangeable because some people may or may not want children, but the first 3 should be a requirement of all men. Cook, clean, and be the CEO of the home. For any man that's a producer male that's making shit happen for his family. Now, cleaning, okay. Every human being needs a domicile. We all need to rest our heads daily we need a place to sleep. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how poor you are. Everybody has a bedroom. Everybody has a kitchen and a toilet and a shower to wash his body. And so that needs to be cleaned. This is a need, like it or not. And we do not like to think, men that are producer males that's out there making it happen don't want to think about maintaining that. They just want it to be a wonderful space for him to go in. Rich, wealthy, filthy rich, or poor, a man wants a nice place to go lay his head that he knows that he can go back to that address and relax. Cook. Listen, we have to eat every day, whether we like it or not. I don't care if you are rich or you are poor. You have to eat every day. That is something every human being on this planet, 8 billion of us, have to do every day. Now, the prevailing argument is, well, if I get with a rich guy, because, you know, like the question was asking earlier, is like average guys require cooking, but the rich guys don't, because the rich guys can just go out and just, you know, they can get a chef and they can just get a maid and call it a day. And a lot of women are looking for that. Well, I want a man with money because I could just get a guy that we gonna just get we gonna get a housekeeper, and then we gonna get a private chef, and then I'm gonna just be living it up. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a fallacy, ladies. That whoever told you that, or whatever reality TV shows you've been watching, has got you fooled. The richest men expect their women to be valuable in some capacity because, back to my question, what do we need you for? Even though we can get somebody to clean the house, every day, live-in maids, or get somebody to come by every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and do the standard cleaning. Even though we can have somebody prepare, we even have meal prep. We can order foods. You can order your food and have it delivered to your house on Sunday, and you got enough food for the rest of the week. That is not, even the richest men do not want to do that if they don't have to. Because what we're looking for in our women is, what is your value for being here in my space? If it's for you just being pretty, that's not enough. That's not enough. And so for the women that think that they can just get a rich guy and they can just live it up and kick back, that's not how it works. If you were to be a fly on the wall in some of these wealthy, rich homes, you'll see that woman in there cooking for that man who it's nothing to have somebody come in there and do it for them. But a man wants to know that his woman can be the CEO of the home, because when he's gone out there making money, doing the things that he needs to do, he wants to know that his woman is at home running that entire household. And that's an operation. Mind you, that's a big job. That's a full-time high class position, in my personal opinion, to be the CEO of a functioning and well greased machine that's operating properly, and the kids are being taught and sleeping well, and there's no mold in the house, and everything is working like it's supposed to. And when something breaks, she's on it. That's a serious job. So just because he can pay for somebody to come cook the food doesn't mean that he wants somebody to come cook the food. The brothers explained that we want a woman that knows how to cook so we can eat her food, as opposed to running over to Ruth Chris every night and ordering steak. There's guys that do that, but they typically don't have a living woman. So a man of means is he has the money he has because he's not frivolous with his spending. Don't think that you're going to come into his life and just give him sex and sex alone and then look pretty and then you're going to be able to last a lifetime. That's not how that works. So I'm telling men, you should expect a woman to cook, even if you like to cook yourself. And she does not have to be a good cook. She has to either be willing to learn to be a cook, a cook like you, like shout out to Rick Ross. Hey, if you can make, Rick don't need that. You know, I know he's trying to get a deal with a hamburger helper. That was the whole purpose of that. But he doesn't need, his chef was probably right around the corner. But he wants Christina, make that for me, so I can see what kind of value you have around me and my private jet and this big house in Florida, this $35 million house in Florida, or the Promised Land house in Atlanta. Can you still cook for the boss? All men want that. And so all women that think that they don't have to do that, you got another thing coming.
Guys just tuning in. You want to say something, Marcus?
That's yeah. Marcus in the kitchen trying to put out the fire.
That episode of Fresh Prince. No, I was gonna say, remember when Cardi B say, I don't cook, I don't clean, still I got a ring shit? Then what she was doing, cooking and cleaning. She was still cooking and cleaning. That should be capped.
She wasn't cleaning up shit. That was some bullshit. She wasn't cleaning shit in that video. She was sweeping some bullshit around on the floor, and he just pulled out his phone to try to talk shit. She ain't cooking or cleaning the damn thing.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I believe she was cooking and cleaning, man. I truly believe she was. I think I seen her with a bonnet on going to ham one day, if I'm not mistaken. I don't follow it enough to know, but you got to think, man. Some of that stuff is a labor of love. It just show it. It's a way to show appreciation. Like when she bring the food to you and she done really like put her all into it and watching you eat it, you experiencing it is intimacy actually, because she can observe you, appreciate what she did, and you can show her appreciation back for what she did, and you know.
But if it's nasty, do you tell it's nasty or do you?
No, this is what I do. I'll be like, hey, taste this. What do you think it needs? Then she'll take it back and fix it.
Somebody said she a Spanish girl. She know how to cook. Bullshit. There's a lot of people you assume know how to cook until they cook. You know how many women from the South you think know how to cook because they from the South until you eat they cooking?
I had a scene like that with a female.
Not where Hink from, right? Hink, they cook down by your way.
Better cook for me. Learn how to cook. Get it together.
I'm gonna go ahead and transition, y'all. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Dad B, you became a member. Welcome to the Green Gang, sir. Appreciate you. And the AP accountability partner, $5 says Hank Marcus had a Southern woman come over and burn his kitchen down. Someone really shouldn't be cooking. I appreciate that. Again, hit that like button, man. We'll go ahead and get into this main topic and start breaking this down. If you guys are going to be in the Dallas area, want to come to the Dallas area March 9th, click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat. We got a little event that we're doing. So come on out and support, man. Go see what the gang is doing. Let's go ahead and hop into it. I got this video. I'm going to break it up into maybe like 4 different parts. We'll see what we're able to get to. I know Sweeney was thrilled to talk about this. He said, I love talking about men making 50K. They shouldn't date if they're making 50K. So. Woman says if a man makes 50K a year, he shouldn't date. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of this clip, and then I'll stop it, and then we'll go again. Here we go.
You in the girl?
Hey.
Now you on the real trying to get rid of the damn bag.
Poshmark.
Hello.
Look, I get mine.
You a Poshmark princess.
Right.
Like anybody want this bag?
Princess is crazy.
What?
Okay, so talk about because we do have male listeners as well.
Right.
So talk about what dating would look like for, a guy who's maybe making just like $100,000 a year, and he's a high value man in every aspect of it. He's a good guy, but maybe he doesn't have the income to be, giving $10,000 to a woman to, invest in her business.
Absolutely.
So what does dating look like for like the average? 100,000 is not even the average person. Let's
Let's keep it
so
real.
let's keep it real for the average person who is making $50,000. That's a good person. What does dating look like for them?
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
Ooh.
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you. When
You're not ready to date, and you're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park, but eventually, Shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play.
All right, that's the first part. Woman says if a man makes 50K a year, he shouldn't date. Sweeney, go ahead, man.
This is why nobody take people serious no more. This is why nobody take these podcasts serious. Because you always get some random strag coming out here talking mad cash shit. But look, how about this? I accept what she says. You're absolutely right. Men who make only $50,000 a year shouldn't be out here dating. I'm gonna take a page out of Marcus' book. I think they should be back, bring back polygamy or polyamory. Bring it back. Everybody that's under $50,000 doesn't qualify for a woman. Fair. And for every $50,000 you earn, over $50,000 that gets you one woman. So if you make $100,000, you get one woman. You make $150,000, you get two. Make $200,000, you get 3 women. So on and so forth. If you make $1 billion, you get 20,000 women. And you be the one that's responsible for all those women. You take care of them. You put a roof over their head. You buy all their shit. You take care of their kids. That can be your women. Fellas, if you make under $50,000 in this world, this is what you do. She's absolutely right. You don't spend that money on dating. What is there? 30 days in a month? 25 of those? No, my bad. 29 of those, you go ahead and beat your dick. Maybe subscribe to her OnlyFans. What? On that 30th day, you buy you a hooker. You save your little $200 up and buy you a hooker. And leave all those women who say that you don't deserve them because you only make $50,000. Leave their ass to the rich niggas. Let them take care of her ass like they already do. And you live your life, because a world where those type of women exist is a world you don't even need to be a part of. You can leave that shit over there, because this is crazy. And what kills me is women like this out here trying to give people advice about dating, what you need to do is if you got it like that, show the world how you got it then. Show them. Show these women how you bagged the rich nigga then. And then let them go out and try the same thing. And then once it's all said and done and all of y'all get the rich nigga, we're going to sit back, us $50,000 a year niggas going to sit back and watch y'all fight over that nigga. It's going to be a bunch of hair pulling, ignorant shit, and we're going to sit back and laugh. And at the end of the month, we're going to grab our $200, slap that shit on the table, and we're going to pay for our pussy and go on about our business. Because this is nuts. I agree. Yeah. Don't date when you only make $50,000 a year. Save up, get you a hooker, leave those hoes alone.
Hey, Nelson, we're going to put Sweeney in the Mr. Let Go category.
No. Sweeney's all right.
All right, go ahead, Trev. What are your thoughts about it, man?
Think you don't agree with me, bro?
I'm just messing with you, man.
Look, man, it will be coming from a chick with some broad ass shoulders and simply overweight. You want to go ahead and give all these requirements for men, right? But you don't meet requirements. You're not anybody's ideal woman, first of all. But I'm gonna get off of her real quick. The average man making $50,000. It is what it is. You telling me that? So should average women not be ready for dating? Should she not be ready for dating, being that she's obese? Should she not be dating also? Or are we gonna hold them to the same standard? If we're gonna do it like that, is she not ready for dating because she's not fit enough, or are we supposed to accept her as she is, right? But we have to put in the work just for an average chick. Like, to me, that's bogus, right? And I'm not a 50K guy. I don't care, but that's what the average is. That's what reality is. That's what the average is. You telling me that these men don't? If you don't want to date them, that's fine. If you prefer to date wealthy men, if you think you could bag one and keep them, which I doubt, that's fine. But you don't go ahead and try to teach women that that's what the standard is supposed to be. Like, you're not, like, there's so much more to life than that, right? The economy is difficult right now. 50K is that you could survive off of 50K. You can do all right off the 50K. Now, I don't tell men that they should settle and try to do that, but for some people, man, that's all they want. They just want to be able to go on with life, right? I say you should strive to do better just so you can be more comfortable for your legacy and everything else. But guess what? If everybody were to move up and everybody start making over 50K, then it's just going to cost more. So it'll be the same thing like you making 50K, right? Even though people made way less years ago, in the 20s, what they were making was like $87,000 adjusted for inflation, even though it might have been somewhere near $8,000. So they're not understanding that part. I think it's stupid to try to teach women like this. I don't care about your preferences. You go ahead and have that. That's fine. If that's what you want to seek, you ain't going to get it. I'm just going to let you know. But if you're telling other men, then you're just going to be lonely. If you're okay with being lonely, that's fine. But don't tell these women to go ahead and try to do something unrealistic when you're not ready, when you're just average. You go ahead and try to bag you a millionaire or a billionaire or somebody who's well into six figures, because he's not going to want you. What is it that you actually offer? For one, they're not going to want an attitude where somebody's telling you that, yeah, you need to be making such. That's not attractive. That's not the type of woman you want. And then you're not doing what you're supposed to do looks wise. Like, how are you going to maintain that type of dude when every woman's chasing the same guy? Once you start stepping over 100,000, and the other lady tried to say that 100,000 was average, and a lot of women actually believe that 100,000 is the average. And they frown upon men who are making 50, 60, 70, 80. They're like, oh, you broke. People with degrees who went to school for a specialty coming out and getting no respect. That's trash. Forget these type of women. Just avoid them entirely. But what I will say is that I don't believe that this is a representation of women in the masses, right? If we're in our bubble and we watch a lot of podcasts and stuff like that, but when you get out into reality and you start meeting people, there are some bozos that are like that, but it's not the overwhelming majority. A lot of women who do seek a person to love, right? A person who's going to be a good father, who has good character, which are most important. Because money, you could be rich today and just broke tomorrow. You see it happen all the time. So if that's what you base it on and that's all that they had going for them, when they go broke, which happens to a lot of people mismanage money. Now what? What do you have? If that's what you want to seek, you're going to get what you get. I'll leave it there for now.
Hey, Trev, you want to know what's interesting about what she said? Because JR didn't finish the clip. She said that if you can't afford that, then go get you one of them bottom of the barrel bitches.
Hold on. You jumping the gun a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know that you was going that far because I wanted to.
Now he said he's gonna drop it into four clips. So we'll wait on it.
I wasn't on here when he said that. I didn't hear him. My bad.
All right. I'm gonna go to you, Kenny.
That was disgusting. That woman is 2 Snicker bars from getting an insulin shot. And she up there spreading this cancer. Here's the dangerous part that we're not like broaching. There are actual women that sit down and listen to this nonsense and wish to adhere to it. And then fumble and fall on their face following advice from people like this. You have your Princellas. You have these people are spreading cancer.
What?
You have every woman on these video shows espousing their hurt, their pains, their wounds, and giving it to other women. Then you check their credibility. Okay, so why didn't I see a ring on your finger? Show me how you did it right while you bashing men. You know, it's more women than men in this world. And if a man stands on his 2, I'm not bringing a resume to you. You're bringing your resume to me. I don't care if I make $50,000.
I don't care.
Men have been dating down since the beginning of history. So now the parameters change. You're non-traditional. A man is not worth your time if his pocket doesn't merit up to what you think it should. I take pleasure in verbally abusing these females correctly about how they should be living their lives and show them where they can go with that, because it's unfair and it's cancerous. Because you could hear that one and she could be spreading it somewhere else, and you hear that regurgitated. And at the end of the day, they're in their circles of females talking superficial nonsense alone with either a dog or a cat, or crying and drinking their wine, bitter old ladies. And that's the outcome for most. It's disgusting.
All right. Go ahead, Marcus.
I just like to say on behalf of the men who think like me, thank you all for putting your standards and expectations out here. You make it that much easier to pre-sort and vet. So I think they should keep doing it. Keep yelling it from a rooftop so we can see exactly who believes this, who's gonna break your family up, who's gonna hold you to some unrealistic standards. Like, because this stuff could be hidden. We need to be thankful that there are people who believe this loudly. It just sorts them for us, so you don't have to get down the road and realize that she was only in this relationship for money. She was only trying to do XYZ. I dated in high school. I dated in college. I dated after college. I dated with money. I dated without money. I don't think it really matters as far as the amount you make, because most times when you get somebody, if you're gonna build something, you're gonna build it. And if you're just waiting at the finish line for a man, I mean, I don't know how well that's gonna work for you. But congratulations, ladies. Just keep going. Keep going. And I agree with Trev. I think it's an isolated bubble. But for those people in the bubble, please be louder. Please be louder. You'll save some men some time.
All right. Go ahead, Luis.
Man, let me tell you, these women are marching these women straight to hell. Straight to hell. Look, I think one of the biggest component that a lot of people, well, a lot of women, I should better say, kind of miss is that there is always room for that growth, right? I think that when we're talking about where 50K is at, whether it's in your 20s, 30s, 40s, it looks very different for a lot of people. But, you know, people get so fixated about the 50K that a lot of people forget about the management money aspect, the investment aspect, the allocation aspect of, you know what I'm saying, or what you do with that money, right? Because like the guy could be making 150,000, and if he mismanages it, now what? And most women act just because the dude makes over a certain amount that they're gonna spend all that money on them, and that couldn't even be further from the truth. You know, I think far too often, you know, we've sensationalized this idea that, you know what I'm saying, that if you're a man who makes 50K or less, that, you know what I'm saying, that you are less than. And I think that's a very dangerous rhetoric for women who have a microphone and a platform to do so. Because what happens is that there is a subsection of men in this country who work very hard. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the benchmark in which they have reached, whether it's 50K or beyond that, right? It tells them that you don't qualify for a good woman. You don't qualify for a long-term life partner or a wife because you don't meet this threshold right here, right? Nobody said that the person's homeless. Nobody says that the person is irresponsible. We're talking about pure economics. You know what I'm saying? Where they are financially. But it doesn't talk about all the things that they've garnered prior to that. They may make 50K, but you'll be surprised how much they probably have in investments and all these other things, right? We don't look at the full picture. And sort of what is happening is you have a generation of older women who are trying to train, you know, younger women to think in a certain type of light, which are steering them in the wrong direction, and they're failing and they're crashing out. And you could see it. You could see it in the attitudes. You could even see it in the perspectives in which they give. It has no reference point. At times, I even ask, what did your father make? Did your father make 50K? Did he make more than that? Where was his benchmark? Right? I just find it that, you know, when certain people talk about, you know, the erosion of relationships today within this sort of modern scene, you know what I'm saying, is focused more around the money aspect, right? And very little to do with all the intangible values that keep a relationship together. You know what I'm saying? Because money is gonna always come and go. But you know what I'm saying, those things that hold that unionship or that relationship together is what really sets you apart from most people out here who are just riding the carousel. Are you?
All right, go ahead, brother Hank.
Yeah, it's sad that you have women like this with this mindset, and they always talk about how much of a shortage it is of good men out here. But now you just ready to shit on the another percentage of men because they don't make a certain amount of money. So, you know, heifers like this, man, they deserve to be lonely.
What?
Yeah, they deserve to be lonely, lonelier than a motherfucker. They're gonna go to bed crying and fold up in a fetal position, like my man Kim said, with that box wine, you know, and be miserable about themselves because they feel like they deserve way more than they should. And the thing about it, half of them probably can't cook a home cooked meal. They probably have very little to no qualities they are bringing to the table for a man, but yet you require a man to make more than $50,000 to provide for you guys. And probably the reason why, because she knows she's eating DoorDash every damn night because her fat ass can't cook. So, you know, that's probably the real reason she wants you to make over 50,000. Needs you at least make about 120 to 130,000 to cover that DoorDash bill. Yeah, like Marcus said, man, if these women are doing it, it's going to make it a lot more simple to weed out the bullshit, to cipher through the bullshit that's going to be out there. Guys, just don't. As soon as you start talking that materialistic type mindset, make sure you run up out of her. Unless you know you're just trying to get a shot of ass and keep it moving, then I understand. Get in, get out without slipping at it. That's all I can tell you. Put a sock on a pickle.
All right, go ahead, Nelson.
Yeah, stay away from women like this. Those women are gonna be perpetually single. And even though I saw a ring on their finger, I wouldn't look at them as being married. I would look at them as being not divorced yet. And that's kind of always going to be the system. When you look at really successful men, the men that don't flaunt their money or spend wastefully, if you look at their marriages, they tend to be married to plain looking women. Like nobody that's going out of their way to be like IG models and things like that, because successful men see the value in women that just have completely different character, that value different things. So if she's already counting your money, then there's no reason for you to date her. I think men have been getting a lot smarter and have been able to pick these women out a lot quicker so that they know how to avoid them. So they actually think there's a shortage of qualified men, when in reality there's plenty of qualified men. They just know how to avoid women like that. So, unfortunately for young women, they have to see that kind of stuff and start to look up to these women. But just remember, they are always single or not divorced yet.
All right, go ahead, brother Shannon. Take us home with this, brother.
Brothers, I disagree with each and every one of you. And I'm surprised at you, brothers. I'm disappointed in each and every one of y'all. I am a male advocate because historically men didn't have one. And now we got these spaces where we could talk and build men up and get together. It's the whole purpose of the manosphere. And in order for men to talk that shit, you cannot have broken departments in your life. So I'm in the business of building amazing men. And what each one of y'all just did was attack the messenger. Oh, she's overweight, or what about her, or how dare her? One of the biggest arguments that I have is don't worry about who's talking it. What did the message say? That's what we do. That's what we expect them to do. But when we do it, we don't even realize that we're doing oftentimes, and what you guys just did, what we expecting women not to do. Don't look at the messenger. What about the message? She's simply saying that men that are 50 that are making less than 50 grand shouldn't be dating. I got 2 shows on my channel, and I talk about it in my mastermind group. I got one show called Baddies Only. I want men to stop dating fat women, but that's not today's topic.
What?
Because on the other side, I got a show called Ballers Only. Women should stop dating broke men. And fellas, I want you to think about something. What type of environment do you want to live in? Just think about the apartment, the house, the place that you stay, the neighborhood in which you live. Now you want to add a woman to that. Imagine getting her pregnant and now you add children to said woman. What type of environment would you like to have with somebody like that? The poverty is about not having enough money to meet basic needs, including like food and clothing. And so if $15,000 is the national poverty line and $30,000 for a family of 4, part of the things that I talk about in the show is, let me bring my note up, is men should make a certain amount of money before they go dating. Absolutely. $30,000 a year is only $600 a week. I say that men should make that especially young men should make about that much if you want to even go out. She says 50, but I say 40. $40,000 to date and have sex. That's about $750,000 I'm sorry, that's about $750 a week, and you need to have a car. She's simply saying, men, if you're going to date somebody and get into a relationship, and I believe that you should be making about 60 grand. What did I write? No, I said you should be making 50 grand if you want to be in a committed relationship. That's about $950 a week in a car that's paid off. And then I go on and I got the rest of it. You guys can watch the show. It's 60,000 if you want to get married. That's 1,200 a week. 75,000 if you want to have a kid. 100 grand to have 2 kids or more. That's what I'm talking about. And the reason why is because who wants to be worried about the lights getting turned off? Or how many of y'all out there riding dirty right now don't got no insurance on your car? You just praying you don't get pulled over. Or you got that old insurance card. Some of y'all don't even got your car registered. You riding around with dirty tags. Some of y'all are worried about you did not pay your T-Mobile bill. Your phone is on the brink of getting turned off right now. What type of environment do you want to live in? And then you out there with your phone almost getting ready to get turned off. You got your check engine light on your car. Your tires are bald. Rent, today's the 13th. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and you still haven't paid rent for February, and you want to date? $50,000 is not that much money. If we're going to attack the messenger, then why are we ignoring the message? Men should be financially stable in the Western world and United States of America to be able to bring a woman into his fold. You cannot talk that shit and stand on your square and demand this and say, this is what I want in a woman and this is what I expect and get on my program. You don't got no program if you're making less than 50 grand. And to be honest with you, you can still have a program, but what kind of woman do you want? I don't mind the message that she said. She's saying if you're going to go out there and you're going to bring a woman into your fold and you want to cover her and protect her and provide for her and problem solve for her, how can you do that and you are worried about your T-Mobile cell phone getting turned off? You do not have car insurance.
Shannon, what age range you talking about?
Live comfortably. You have to be what type of life do you want to live in? And I'm sorry, I don't care what she looked like or I'm listening to what she's saying. And if this is King Talk, because that's the name of this show. If this is King Talk and we are all about building kings and we want kings and we want to be amongst kings, then how can we be upset when somebody is saying men should be at a certain socioeconomic status before they start introducing and inviting other human beings into their life? And he can't even fucking damn near provide for himself.
What age range you talking about, Shannon?
At a certain level.
Like what is that? Are you talking about for men that are like early 20s? Or are you just talking about period like no matter how old you are, don't start dating until you reach that 50K threshold?
I don't care what I don't. So you understand dating. So I see, I don't want young men to even get involved because they fall in love early and then everything falls to shit. So I don't even like men under 30. If you're 20 anything, I don't want you to seriously date. That's just what I believe. I believe that men should get their shit together in their 20s. I did not. A lot of men haven't, and a lot of men wish they did. We were too busy chasing tail, and we missed a whole lot of opportunity on doing things in our 20s that a lot of men is now trying to do in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So the reality is, all men should. This not my thing is not for young men or older men or no, it's for all men. And I say 40 grand. But she said 50. Let's roll with what she said. $50,000 to get into a committed relationship with somebody. Outside of that, you on that. Remember, I don't advocate for that 50-50 bullshit. That's not what I preach. I know a lot of guys out here like the 50-50 thing. I need her to bring something to the table and she got to bring some of her paycheck. And then I don't like that. I want her to come in. I want you to be able to sustain yourself and her. And then whatever else or however you guys live is based on his income. Because that way you'll be able to call all the shots in your house and won't nobody talk shit to you. Half the time that these women is out here talking shit to men is because she's paying for shit.
So, Shan, the problem with what you're saying, and I'm gonna ask you this: what percentage of men do you think are realistically make $80,000 a year?
I don't know, maybe 15%. 15% roughly.
Let's say every man got their, I know what you're going off of. Let's say every man got their shit together. Every man did it right in their 20s. They did what they were supposed to do. What percentage of men would you say will be making? What did you say? What did I say? 100? What was the number I used? 80,000?
Yeah,
100,000?
You said 80.
Use 80.
80,000. Yeah. What percentage of them would make $80,000 a year?
I just told you. Well, you talking about women?
No, men.
Oh, I said 15%.
Even if they had their shit together.
Listen. No, yeah, a lot of men can have their shit together, still make a whole lot less than $80,000.
Right. So what I'm asking, so that's the problem. What you're saying is because even in this world where I asked two different questions. That's why I asked again, because I said just men, and then you said 15%, but I was assuming you was basing that on the parameters that we have today. So I changed it to if all men got their shit together and did exactly what you said they should do in their 20s, what percentage of them would you say will realistically make $80,000 per year?
I don't know, Sweeney. What's your point?
Well, I'm asking because this is the world you said you want to create. So if you,
yeah, it is.
So if you told men to get their shit together and all of them got their shit together, what percentage do you believe they would make 85,000 if they followed your rules?
If they follow my rules, all of them.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Anybody that fucks with Shannon makes $80,000. That's a.
Oh, really?
That's not a problem. But
so 100. No, I'm asking you about the world that you're creating. So we talking about 130 million men, all did what they were supposed to do, got their shit together. All of them will make 80,000 or more a year.
In Shannon's perfect world, yes, all of them will.
That's impossible. That's
in Shannon's perfect world. Listen, what you guys are asking me. You asking me, you want to go to fantasy land with the questions that I'm gonna stay in fantasy land. Now, but here's the thing: ain't nobody said $80,000. We're talking. You just skipped 30 grand.
Well, no, I jumped to 80. No, I jumped to 80 because you said that's the requirement for marriage.
Sweeney, hold on.
And kids. That's why I jumped to 80 because that's the requirement that you set for marriage and kids.
The average male U.S. makes around 50K. So you're saying the average male is not supposed to date. The average male makes $18 an hour. So you're saying that they have to step up to what you imagine the world should be. And then you threw in caveats as for what they should have so they could be that ideal man. And for you to stand on that hill and say that if I got 100 million men in front of Shannon, all of them would make that in a capitalist society where it's
but Kenny,
you're always gonna have somebody that's poorer than you.
Kenny, that
There's
position
always gonna be somebody that's poorer than you.
Well, inflation exists.
Bouncing around. Listen, let me explain something. The what did you say? The average
Male makes 50K a year.
50K. Yes.
Yes.
Let's stick with the topic is should those guys date? The answer is yes. My number is 40 grand. She used 50, so we're just using her number as for the sake of argument. But you want to split the difference, $45,000. Those men should make it. It's a guy that's making $25,000, $30,000 should not be concentrating on getting in a relationship. But not in America.
That wasn't the number that she brought up, though.
She brought up 50 grand.
So
that's my point.
Why would we lower the bar?
No. Listen. Anything that's what I'm trying to explain to you. She's saying, and I am saying, if you make 50 grand, jump into the dating pool. You're prepared and you make enough money to sustain a relationship and yourself. Women out here asking, huh?
She said no. You have to make something above that. That was the bar that was unacceptable.
The scrolling at the bottom says, woman says if a man makes 50K a year, he should not be dating.
Yeah, that was the bar.
So what is her number then?
She don't have one. She didn't say.
He didn't provide one.
So that's why I didn't want you to go on flights of fancy and bring other caveats in and also lower the bar because I was listening to you. She's put her foot down and said her requirement. And she had the other hens cackling about, okay, yup, that's what's up, yup, sister girl, all that good stuff. That 50K, what the average man, if you check it up, give or take a couple thou, makes in the United States. That means the average man should not date.
I got you, Kitty. So then maybe then I jumped the gun. No, maybe I jumped the gun because I'm looking at it at 50 grand is where is the entry is the
point of entry.
Is the point of entry.
Also, I did throw a jab at her, but I attacked exactly what she said while throwing that jab at her.
But how can we attack her if she never gave? So what was her point of entry then? Did she say
she didn't stipulate it, but she gave a number that said was
more than 50. We'll just say more than 50K because she said if you make 50K, you shouldn't be dating. More than 50K.
But
so
they referenced 100,000 too.
Trev,
yeah, they did reference 100 grand, and but I don't know if that's what they were saying. So Jay already had to play it again because they teased with 100 grand, but I'm thinking in my mind 50K is where she's saying that a woman should date. I mean, a man should date, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds good to me.
No, she pretty much verbally castrated men that had the idea by what she said at 50K. Trev, is it not fair to say if she laughed at 50K? You'd have to
she did. She disrespected 50K, which is the average man's
I don't think
salary, pretty much.
So you guys want to play it again?
Yeah, play it again, so I can stand corrected.
Pay attention to the verbiage. She also said just. She disrespected that 100K too. If you really peep what she was doing, replay it.
All right, give me 1 second. 1 second. Right. Where is it? There it is.
Now you in the girl.
Hey.
Now you on the real trying to get rid of the damn bag.
Poshmark.
Hello.
Look, I get mine.
You a Poshmark princess.
Right.
Like anybody want this bag?
Princess is crazy.
What?
Okay, so talk about because we do have male listeners as well.
Right.
So talk about what dating would look like for a guy who's maybe making just like 100,000 a year. And he's a high value man in every aspect of it. He's a good guy, but maybe he doesn't have the income to be giving $10,000 to a woman to invest in her business.
Absolutely.
So what does dating look like for like the average? 100,000 is not even the average person. Let's let's keep it real. For the average person who is making $50,000, that's a good person. What does dating look like for them?
So if you're making $50,000, don't date. I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you.
You're not ready to date. And you're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park, but eventually, shorty is going to need a sip of something. She going to be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe. And now you got expendable cash. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying you gotta pay to play to be with a woman. I'm simply saying courtship costs.
Right.
It is not free
It's
to
not.
date. Like some of us can't even take our homegirl out and it's free.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You peeling off a little check for shorty's drink. So it's like, why do we expect anything else of women with a man? Like fellas, if you're broke, don't date. You're not ready to date yet. Or get you
I'm
a
here.
bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna
I'm listening to her overreaching point,
and that's what you defended.
No, but to be honest with you, I still defend it because I'm listening to her
Hold
overreaching point.
on. Like I was supposed to play some more until 45, 50. So let me finish that up.
Gonna date you when you have no money.
That's what I was about to ask.
If she doesn't want anything financially from you, if she doesn't have the expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts because eventually you're gonna want to run because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become in order to thrive in this world.
Right.
She doesn't set expectations for you. She allows you to be this stagnant dude in the same jeans for 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
Man, did these heifers get some lip injections? What's going on with their mouth?
The bird said pay to play.
God dang.
The bird said deal with bottom bees. not me. That's
So,
not no respectable
I
woman
wanted
that's
to
worth 50K.
I wanted to touch on that real quick. And this
Go
is
ahead.
and I'm going to speak to the ladies in the chat right now. Because I'm it's hard to believe all of us are making $100,000 a year, whatever she want to call it, right? When she said go get you a deal with them bottom bitches, who do you think she was talking about?
Bitches that don't ask for nothing, require nothing.
She was talking about your regular, because you got to think where these women are speaking from. They're speaking from a pedestal that they didn't place themselves on, or a lifestyle that they didn't place themselves on. So when she said the average man is making 50,000, she's also talking about the women around him, which are also average more than likely. She's calling average people. She's calling average men brokies, and she's calling average women bottom of the barrel bitches.
Based on them not looking for money out of it. Like the last things that she just used to describe what those women are like is a clear indication that she's the problem. Like, why would men not want to be with a woman that is not going after them for money? Like, why? Like, you want the woman that's going to be with you no matter what, because hard times can fall on anybody. So you might be making 80 and something crazy happen, and now you lean for a few months or whatever it may be. You don't want to have to look over your shoulder and be like, all right, I don't know what she gonna do. She gonna start acting up. We don't need women to push us and stretch us. That's not she's got her role completely mixed up. Why would we want to date someone that that's like a mother figure? We don't need that. So I think that's where she's getting confused, and why I don't think this is attacking her, but you have to start kind of stereotyping these type of women and see how most of them behave, dress, and act, so that way you can actively avoid them. Those women are perpetually single and divorced women, not because she's unattractive or anything like that, but you can tell by her outlook on relationships, combined with the way that they're dressing, combined with the values that they're talking about are important to them. So you kind of got to put them inside of a box and look at, like, why would I respect the message coming from them?
I do got a little bit more clip to play. I want to go ahead and play it.
And now your bank account is suffering until he gives you another chunk.
Right.
You don't know how long that's going to be, how long that's going to last.
That's true.
So realistically, you just have to be wise with who you date, because as a man, you can easily slip into a situation with a woman that keeps you stagnant and at the bottom. If you get with a woman that's moving and she's got, what they say now? Motion.
Yeah, motion. Got a little motion. She got motion.
I got a little seasoning. I'm a little aged, okay? Like fine wine. But yeah, when you got a little motion and you're in action,
right,
you can elevate a man easily, one that wants to be.
Right. Okay.
But if you're making 50K and you're looking for one of these, you're not
Ain't
getting
gonna
that.
happen.
You're not getting that. And it's not about my shoes cost this and my MAC makeup cost this. It ain't about that. It's about what experiences can you do for me? How can you elevate me mentally if you're still stuck at 50K and comfortable?
Right.
50K is not comfortable.
Sure
I've
ain't.
made 50K before, and baby, I was getting yellow tags on the door all the time with my electric about to be shut off.
It's just
I
not
was-
realistic
it's
in this
it's not
economy.
fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun to be at 50.
It's nice.
So for the fellas that's making 50, use this little word to inspire you to tap into the things that you know. Knowledge is the new currency.
Right.
That's what you defended? The girl. It started with her with the
You
check.
on mute, Chan.
It started with her saying, "Oh, what happened when the check stopped?" She's talking
Listen,
out
when-
of both sides of her face. That's no woman that can nourish a man's soul. A man can move with motivation with the right woman behind him, not being led by her, knowing that he had a
I don't
woman that's
believe in none
going
of
to that uplifter.
Yeah,
That's not an uplifting woman. That's not a righteous woman. That is a contentious woman.
Yeah, but okay, I got it. But she's making 2 points in her statement. She's talking about pushing a man. Her second point It's talking about being the kind of a mover, as she called it, or a shaker, and pushing the man to become something. I think that's bullshit. I think men should become motivated and do things without the need for a push from their woman, right? Because if we could talk about that all day long. I'm back to her original point, and that's what I'm speaking on. Dating broke. I don't want men to date broke. I don't want men to be out there hurting in his own life and then trying to be out and then potentially getting somebody pregnant. It's it's part and parcel of one of the issues that we're having, especially in the Black community. We out here, we barely got 2 nickels to rub together at the end of after all the bills is paid, and then we want to go out here and smash a whole bunch of motherfuckers and go dating and having sex and then potentially getting somebody pregnant, and now you can't afford it.
Shannon, you are putting that jacket on people from your own ideology. That's like being an ideologue when you speak. You're putting that jacket, like most guys want to go out there and be reckless and put themselves in a position of financial despair. That is unfair. You back what this woman says. She's talking out both sides of her face. You understand? She first says, okay, 50K, I've been there. You're speaking for a man. The truth don't need motivation. When you watch a girl flip-flop, then she's being encouraged by girls that look like they work at KOD. And then she's talking. Her first thing when he clipped on that video, what happened when the check stopped? That's a bird. She's just showed what she is. That's all. That's all. Like when you put the garnish on the steak, you're not going to eat that. That's all window dressing. She showed you contention. She has no respect for you. A woman that would talk that way to you, you can't find peace in that. That's not peace.
Yeah, but we're not trying to date her, Kenny. And I don't give a damn about her. I'm talking about what her message is.
But she is speaking. She is giving a benchmark for what she requires. So she is showing other women, okay, these are the dating parameters that I have to follow. And other girls adhere to that, like that other bubblehead on the couch.
No, but Kenny, I understand. But are you suggesting, sir, that her saying you should not date broke is a bad message? That men should not date broke is a bad message?
Okay, she didn't
because
say
that's a
broke.
message that I believe. No, that because that's what she said,
Well,
quote unquote.
So wait, to answer his question real quick, I'll go back. The average man in the United States makes about 50K, and they live, and they're productive. So what are we saying? If I put the numbers on the table, per what she is saying is unacceptable for a man to date.
If you look at the thing is that that's the problem, is that we're not talking about, if we were talking about dating broke, we know what broke looks like. 50K a year is not broke. The average plumber makes 50K, the average electrician makes 50K, the average construction worker makes 50K, the average garbage truck driver, everybody, all these men that make the world work is what drives that average number of 50K. She's basically telling all of those men, hey, you need to bow out the dating market because it ain't for you. Because of her standards or what she thinks that women should be seeking out when it comes to dating. She even said, the first girl even opened up and said, what if you can't give her 10,000 for her business? Who the fuck just giving out 10 bands for business ventures like that? From average people. Average people don't just walk around with 10,000 of disposable income in their pocket to just throw away on people's businesses. So I'm like, and then she even started putting parameters on dating. Oh, you can go for 1,000 walks. Well, that's kind of what people who don't have $100,000 do. They go to Applebee's. They go on walks. They eat ice cream. They cook in. They eat in. They do sipping paints at the house. They don't go out every fucking night. She's telling the median household income in this country is 50-some thousand. She just basically looked at the average income in the house, and this is just she looking at people's households and saying, y'all motherfuckers shouldn't even be together right now.
Read what BZ is saying right here.
BZ says, man, y'all too worried about what these women think. The message is to keep leveling up, not getting Kenny's point. Why we so caught up on the messenger?
Well, I will say this. My problem isn't with what she said. I look, she can have whatever she want to have. If that's the message, my problem is I'm not gonna sit here and go out there and tell men, hey, you need to live up to that shit. No, fuck that. Tell any woman that comes at you like that, kick rocks. Any woman that comes at you and says that if you want to level up, you level up because you want to level up, not because there's some unrealistic dating standard out there for you to live by.
But that's not unrealistic, Sweeney. And that's the point. That's the point that she's making. It's not so much that women are demanding that it's not. I don't get. Basically, what BZ is saying is fuck what these women is asking for, or what kind of man are you? That's why I asked you what environment do you want to live in, as a man, as an individual? How much money? How comfortable are you willing to? Or do you want to have a long-term life in? And if you are cool with fast food, slop, wearing, like I think she said, wearing the same clothes. If you are cool with mediocrity, fellas, kings, if you are cool with mediocrity, then don't call yourself a king. Don't even come to King Talk.
All right,
come to King Talk if you are the kind of guy that says where I am is not where I'll be tomorrow.
All right, I got that, Shannon. Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that, Shannon. And don't get me wrong. I always encourage men to level up. I don't only talk about it. I've hired people. I brought their credit scores up. I've elevated many men. That's what I'm about, right? However, there's a bell curve. There's always going to be an average. If we all start making more money, it's still going to be an average. The reason she said 50K and retracted from 100K because she said that's the average. They are attacking the average man, which there's always going to be more of an average, right? There's the bell curve. It's always going to be more of an average than anything. There's going to be people who excel, right? And I encourage men to do that. However, there's always going to be an average. And she's literally telling you that if you are an average man, which there will always be an average, most of us are always going to fall in an average. Most men are not worthy of dating. That's a problem.
That's where I fucked up. That's where I fucked up because I came into this and I attacked you fellas unrighteously because I'm thinking that she's saying 50K. I'm saying the what did you call it, Sweeney? The point of entry. I'm saying the point of entry is 50K. She's saying 50K ain't enough. I fucked up on that. So now, with that said, 50K don't be broke. Don't be poor. Wherever you live. Well, I'm in Los Angeles, California. So in LA is completely different than Little Rock, Arkansas. I got property in Little Rock, Arkansas. Living in Little Rock, Arkansas is completely different than living here in Hollywood. So I'm simply saying wherever you live in America, who's ever listening to this, don't be the broke person. If you're gonna be that, fine, don't involve a woman. If you're gonna be that guy who's cool with mediocrity, don't involve another human being that you could potentially bring in children, and now the whole family's fucking struggling.
But most families are mediocre.
For those families, they are usually dual incomes. That's one of the quickest ways people who are in the middle class boost their financial status is by combining their household income.
Shit, hell, that's how most people make the middle household income is by combining household income, and they able to like the people that I cut regular average American people heads. They not making, these dudes ain't making $100 and some $1,000 a year. They making 50. They wives may make 45, 50, and they live in nice houses in the suburbs. Like, you know what I mean? This is like, because I'll be real with y'all. If every man on this planet made $80,000 a year, you know how much I'll be charging y'all for haircuts? Because y'all gonna charge me because you got to make 80,000, right?
Inflation.
You gonna charge me for what's gonna get your income to 80,000. So now I got to charge you back. I'll be charging y'all down there $100 a haircut.
Yeah, but if every man made 80,000, the GDP would change. So what we consider average would change. Gas price, everything. A gallon of milk would change if everybody made 80 grand.
That's what I'm saying. So basically, an average would never be good enough for this woman to say that regular American people would never be able to date because average would never be good enough. It will always kick the can down the road where we're looking at that group of people and saying, because right now today average is 50,000. If all of us leveled up, average will now be 80,000, and everything is going to cost because where that money gonna come from? If all of us start
Right.
making 80,000, where the money gonna come from? That means we
You
all
don't
start
think?
circling. So she, in her mind, they look at it, and this is where women get it wrong. They look at it as if money grows on trees, as if this shit doesn't cost to, like, oh well, just make 100,000. All y'all just need to make 100,000 and it'll be all okay. No, that's not how the world works. Economists will tell you that that's not how the world works.
All right, so we got to give Luis and Hinkin, and I got a little bit more clip to play. Go ahead, Luis.
I was gonna say this real quick. Yeah, how many of you in here work 40 hours a week or less?
Or less?
All right, then. That 50K, I'm operating on the assumption that 50K is on the premise of someone working 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week, that's it. 40 hours a week is the bare minimum in terms of work hours. Like, if you're trying to get past that threshold, you need to work more hours. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's working 40 hours a week, he's making 50K a year, and you're considering that's the barrier, the threshold of entry, that entry point, right? Then you're not working enough hours. You know what I'm saying?
So you're a financial professional?
Not a financial professional. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know if you say
I don't think I need to be a financial professional.
Actually, you do if you made that statement. If you were saving $200 a month at 9% in a qualified account, and you never leveled up, by the time you retired, you'd be a millionaire. And I have financial licenses besides being a communications tech. So when I hear you say certain things like that, you have to tread carefully with those things. My company pays me 6 figures despite what I do outside. So when I hear that, and that's why I push back at the point that Shannon is making, he is correct. It is valid, but not for defending what that lady said. It is valid. A man should not live in mediocrity, but you have to know what steps you're putting yourself on. He put caveats that fit his discussion, his argument of not being mediocre and dragging somebody in to that sinking ship. The average man that works 40, don't put your head where your hands can't reach. Sit down with a financial advisor. If you're making that money, you'll start seeing it multiplied once you learn about compound interest and those things. So when you say 50K, I am broaching just bits by bits. I'm not going to throw the whole horse at you and tell you eat it. When I hear it, I just want to hear what you have to say and see if it's valid.
Lewis, one thing is your suggestion, and I think this is where I think Kenny is trying to say, because he's talking about he's getting 100 grand regardless. You're suggesting, Lewis, that you work hard, you work more. Say if you're working 40 hours a week, man, and you're making 50K and you want to make more money, you need to work more hours. I suggest you don't necessarily need to work more hours. You just need to get better skill set and make more money doing the same amount of work.
Yeah.
So I don't want men to, I don't want us to, we already fucking work ourselves to death, right? That's what we do as men. You know, the average lifespan is because we out there working all our goddamn life. And by the time we get old, our heart gives out. I don't want men to necessarily work harder. I would certainly love it if men work smarter. So if you're working 40 hours a week, a week, and you're getting 50K, what can you do to work 40 hours a week and get 75K? Doing the same amount of labor, but still having the same amount of leisure time. So I just want to put that on there.
Let me get
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Nelson. And then if Hank want to say something.
So the whole problem that I had with her statement is that it shows that she's basing a man's value based off of, and I always say this: money, power, and respect. That's the only thing that they are evaluating the definition of a good man. That's why they're always going to be single like that. Instead, she should have been evaluating, what his integrity, his knowledge, his wisdom, because everything that Kenny said was spot on. But you know what? A man that was making 35K but was growing in knowledge and wisdom and was learning financial strategies like that, he's bound to make a whole lot more money. But women don't know how. I don't want to say women, but women like them don't know how to see that or recognize those type of character traits inside of men. So that's the whole problem I have with it. It's just like they're valuing these men based off of these just very arbitrary, dollar amounts.
Then she threw the buzzwords in. Entertain, what did you say? Lifestyle, travel, and experience. Whenever I hear them words strung together, I always have a specific idea of the type of woman I'm talking to. I know we talked about this before, right, JR? Whenever I hear them words strung together, I think of a specific type of woman. You got to avoid them. You have to, or you going. All right.
Go ahead, Hank.
So the sad part about it is it's only our people who put these restrictions on us like this. That would get on a YouTube show and talk like this and just shit on every other man. You probably won't see a lot of other races doing that to their people like that. Probably won't. I mean, to the point where now she's probably shitting on the father. He's probably that blue collar man that she's talking about. She experienced and she didn't get all the things she wanted as a kid. So now she's unleashing her trauma on the world. Want every other woman that, hey, we don't need to suffer. Ma'am, you look like you already married. It looked like she had a ring on. So you good. You covered. You taken care of.
She's just not divorced yet.
Oh, okay. Well, right on, Nelson. I got you. So, but for those who are not in a relationship or in a marriage or anything like that, you cutting off half the world from these women. So you doing a disservice to your own people. That's all I got to say about it.
Let me go ahead and play a little bit of this clip. Spinny just dropped this link. I'm going to go ahead and post it in the chat. Y'all go ahead and take a look at it. And I got that video too. I'm going to cue it up in a second.
It's so offended too when you say that they shouldn't date when they don't have no money. But I 100% agree with you.
But they're also broke.
That's true.
Those are the people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Those are the
man
only people that get
150
offended
is
by
never
that.
like,
yeah.
We'll date when you're broke.
Right. He probably
agrees.
agrees. Yeah, because I feel like your focus needs to be elsewhere. If you don't have any money, you can't even enjoy life.
No.
So you damn sure can't enjoy a woman because women need things. Women need things.
Yeah. It affects your mental.
Yeah.
It affects your challenges and
Broke
how you
niggas be
face
mean.
them.
And they be
yes,
mean.
They
I'm
be
telling you.
so mad.
And they be quick in the bed too. 3 seconds, and they be like,
Get off
"Oh
me,
my god, that was amazing." And you're like, I didn't even blink twice yet. Like, what is happening? And it's because that stagnant mentality. It affects you in every area.
Yes.
Your friends are terrible. You have no loyalty in your circle. You got you know issues within your family. Like, and I'm not saying that these things don't happen when you have money.
Right.
But they occur much more often and last much longer when the pain point is, how much do I get paid?
Right.
Like, it's real.
That is true.
So for the fellas, and now mind you, you don't have to be the richest man in the room. You just have to be the one most willing.
Right.
I say this to my students all the time. Stop searching for the richest man in the room because we all not getting a millionaire.
Right.
We're all not, I don't care how bad you are. We're not all bagging the CEO of somewhere.
Hold on, let me scroll up a little bit and get this last part in.
She
I just want
torpedoed her own argument.
I just want to throw this in. When I was broke, that's when I perfected my stroke.
I'm
I
about
got
to
the
say
best D for me.
she's wrong on that one.
Hold
Shit,
on, hold on.
You
Y'all
got the
missed
best D
it.
for me.
Hold on.
$400-something. You know,
He's
this
smart.
2017 me was like, oh my God, girl. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, but I feel like if you have a man who's giving, that's gonna mean more any time than you dealing with, oh, because he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
I need to have him. If he not making $100,000 in this per month, and I can't date
That's
him.
the biggest mistake we
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Because honestly, the more money you have, the smarter you are with it, the longer you hold on to it, and the less you release it. So when you are in that, $100,000 6-figure realm, those men are willing because they have yet to find a woman that is going to multiply that 6 figures.
Right.
They find women that are going to take from that 6 figures, but they rarely
But not-
find one that
yeah.
will multiply it. And that's
That's
what
a
we
bar.
do. That's what we're born and designed to do. We procreate, we multiply.
Yep.
And so
Bullshit.
when a woman, meets a man that is not the richest in the room. All you have to do is make sure he's the one most willing. Fellas, if that's you and you're like, damn, I ain't got, I'm just scratching the surface of 80,000. I'm just scratching the surface of 6 figures. I don't really have it like that. One, check how you're living, because if you're living above your means, that's a big issue. 2, how do you spend your money? Do you go buy sections for your homeboys to go hang out and pop bottles and drink? Are you in the hookah lounge every week? 3, check your investments. If you don't got no investments, if you're not pouring into something that's going to make you more money, you're going to be stuck at that 6 figures forever, because you're exchanging time and money. There's only so many hours you can give to a workspace to get paid, right? So you have to start to think about, how can I entrepreneur? How can I start making a bag outside of just right here clocking in, right? And so that's when the knowledge to experience comes into play. Knowledge to profit comes into play. But if you're that guy, you just have to think about where else you're spending, how you're investing, and what difference that money would make if it was sown into a woman who knows how to make something multiply.
Right.
Because when it's sown into her, not only will you make more money, but you will live a more fulfilled life. You'll be able to do the Paris. You'll be able to do the, trips out the country, and you'll be able to go into a designer store. You might not be able to go every week. You might only be able to go once a year.
Right.
But you can still go. You have the option to choose. So, fellas, it ain't the richest man in the room. It's the one most willing. And if you're not willing and you're not rich, well, then you're just gonna grab one of them little ghetto babies with the bad wig.
So, what advice do you have for women to help?
This is, who the fuck is she talking about?
Man, she talking about a mammy.
You see the trend yet, JR?
Jesus Christ.
You see the trend yet? What I was talking about? Have you started to see it?
Who is this woman talking about? First of all, man, I feel like Andre up here, man. I'm a little lost for words. What? I don't think she realized when you talk about people. Time out. When you talk about your average, regular American family, you talking about maybe you need to just go out there and figure out how to be an entrepreneur or invest your money somehow. People who tend to be living stable lifestyles where they're middle class don't go out their way to start throwing money at investments because they don't have the income to just, to risk it like that. People who have disposable income do have the money to risk, so therefore they apply more money there. But you're talking about regular American people. They're not out. What are you talking about? Trips to Paris? What lifestyle is it? This is the problem when she said what she said earlier, because that's the lifestyle she's thinking about when she says you should be dating. She's talking about a lifestyle where you go to Paris and Europe and take trips all over the place and buy bags and eat at expensive restaurants. Ow. The regular American person ain't doing that shit. And they don't have to. Who said that has to be the lifestyle that you have to live to be happy? She might not even be living that lifestyle. She probably maxed out half her credit cards trying to show y'all on Instagram that she's vacating in Maldives Islands or whatever the fuck that's called.
Maldives.
I ain't even out there like that. So, live your life. Whatever she's trying to put on you, live your life. Because she gonna have your ass broke out here if you keep trying to live up to the standard that she's placing on the regular American person.
How though, Sweeney? How is what she's saying gonna have you broke by her or what she's saying?
Because most people can't do that.
Well, hold on. Let me throw some aid to Sweeney because I agree with him. The part that'll have you broke is not the part where she said you need to check your living expenses. It's not the part where she said you need to live below your means or at your means. It's not where she said you need to focus on investments. It's the part where she highlighted the type of lifestyle that she wants because it's unrealistic for en masse people to operate like that. You might not be able to go to the designer bag store every week, but maybe you can go once or twice a year. No, you put that money in the investment too. Like, if you make it under 100K, the smartest thing I would tell, I'm not a financial advisor, right? I studied for the test, but I would not have a license for this. So this is my opinion. If you can max out your 401k or Roth IRA, if you can put together discretionary spending so you able to live off of less than 70% of your income no matter how much you make, and as you get raises you increase your investment distribution as opposed to your lifestyle, that all of that's great advice, right? But everything else, you trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I know that's why I keep referring this to JR, because I noticed this trend amongst people that live on Instagram. It's always about presenting something that somebody else is either doing, has done, or keeping up with it, or being the first to do it. People that live like that perpetually are in debt, because you take on an exorbitant amount of money trying to impress people who don't care about you with things you don't need nor really want, because you're trying to keep up a lifestyle. That lifestyle is a buzzword when I hear it, because I kind of already know what they saying when they say lifestyle. When they had this image in their mind where they're going to jet set around the world, they're going to travel and shop in the most expensive stores, and a man who can't give you that lifestyle or that experience is not a real man and does not deserve love, family, or respect. And I push back on that. I think, and to be clear, I think all men should try and strive to be their 100% best. You should give your all in all that you do. You should try and maximize your financial potential, but you're not doing it in order to do that. That is not what that is for.
Wait,
and
that's
anybody
not what black men are doing, right?
Excuse me?
Specific.
What you saying?
Because I think what you're arguing is the money phone. Like niggas is on the gram, fronting, driving cars, showing they wearing Gucci belts, and I'm with you with that. Out there flexing, and when I say the money phone, everybody heard Jay-Z's 444 album. It's like, what are you pretending rich, or are you rich? Are you acting like, because if you're just trying to keep up with the Joneses and you seeing what such and such has on the gram, and now you got to go get that, then you're gonna be perpetually broke. I think that's what you're saying, right, Marcus? And I think that's what Sweeney is probably trying to say. I'm simply saying, why can't we just be rich? Why can't we just do what's necessary? See, I think you guys are attacking this chick because she's speaking from her experience, and she looks like she looks and whatnot. I don't like, she was talking about women will multiply. I think the women multiply is bullshit. The women will multiply I think that's bullshit, but that's a different argument for a different day, But I do agree with her where she says men with money know how to spend it and are frugal with it. That goes back to our original question from earlier with the food. And does a man with money want a woman that know how to cook? So she's speaking to the point that I was making then. She was saying that men should be ready to always elevate, move, and do things. I'm simply saying, look, we were second to the last demographic, black men, because I'm specifically trying to help black men. We were second to the last in 2020 and 2021. Now we're last. Hispanics have passed us up last year. So black men, we are at the bottom of the list in terms of economic power. We were just second to last for so many years. The Hispanics was at the bottom. Now they didn't pass us by. And I'm simply saying, fellas, can we not look like we're doing better, like Sweeney, like Marcus is saying, but can we do better? And why would we advocate for average? That's what it feels like I'm hearing. And I think that's where the source of my frustration with what I'm hearing from us on this from y'all on this panel is, are we advocating for, and you guys you clean it up at the end saying, yeah, but I want men to do the best. Well, okay, then you got to talk like the majority of your message should be pushing men to do better.
So in regards to her dating, the majority of my message is you should not be dating a woman like that. You should not be dating a woman with an ideology like that. You need to be great. That's what I'm trying to, like, the more important, because if you do great and you're dating a woman like that, you know what happens? John Henryism. It's never enough. It's always something extra that you have to do, and you will end up working yourself to death, because the more money you make, the more fancier and better ways she will find out to spend it. Plus, she is not dating you because she wants to be with you. I know people don't believe that women love you, but it's women that love men in this world. And those women will pitch in 50-50. They'll do a lot. So yeah, there you go. I'm trying to keep those women from dating men who are on a path to do better, because I want to see these families stay together. And from my observation, the women who have that mindset, like Nelson said, they're not married, They're just not divorced yet. That mindset is a just not divorced yet mindset.
I can't
And it's
understand
clear as day.
why you
Marcus, Marcus, I thought they don't give a damn about us. That's what I was told. They don't give
You
a
never
shit
heard me.
about us.
You didn't hear me say
They
that.
don't give a shit about us. Hank, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally.
God damn.
A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something.
This is wild.
It is amazing that you still are pushing this narrative after hearing that she says she teaches this to women. And those two birds, and I'm going to say what I said, they're cackling alongside this woman espousing these cancerous thoughts. It's valid. Men are supposed to strive. Not everyone's going to be a millionaire, but it's something to aspire for those certain people. Certain people just want to live a comfortable life so they don't have to be recluse because of their money. So not everyone is wanting to be a millionaire, but you want to be in a position where you're living among your means and you don't have bills. That's good enough for some people, just being able to put a plate of food on the table and go where they want to go when they can. But this woman is actively talking out of two sides of her face. She's hitting you with some good points, but then going back to her natural state of being superficial. And she has these two birds cackling. And she actually says she teaches this, which goes back to my beginning point about her being cancerous. She's not teaching you how to find somebody who's for you. She's teaching you how to find someone she can get something from.
That will use you.
Exactly.
Do y'all know how much it costs to raise a family of 4 in this country for the average American?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. Go.
I think I was watching one of JR's Lapeef Let's Talk shows about 2, maybe 3 years ago. And Anton was talking about this. So I decided to go and do the math. And I included everything you can possibly need outside of college fund. I worked this just for trade school. Your kids go to trade school or something like that, right? And it roughly, just 2 years ago, roughly came to maybe anywhere between $92,000 to maybe $105,000 a year. Family of 4. That's a house, all the bills paid, all the necessities, the retirement fund, all the insurances, and even some money for an emergency fund. You're talking anywhere from $92,000 to $105,000 a year. 2 incomes do that in this country. Perfectly fine. 2 incomes do that perfectly fine in this country. So when I hear somebody say, why shouldn't rich be necessary? Why isn't rich necessary? Because it's not. And yet we have somebody over here pushing rich is necessary for you to be able to get around in life. That makes no sense. Because if that was the case, then why is the average American doing just fine? The average white family, and I ain't even talking about black. I get it. I get what Shannon is talking about.
You think the average American is doing just fine today?
Yes.
You think
I cut them every single day. Yes, I cut them every single day. I've gone to their houses. I've seen their kids. They're doing just fine.
The political landscape of today.
Under your definition,
you put an average black average American income, male income with the average female income, you're getting anywhere from 95 to over 105,000 a year. That's 2 average people coming together and raising a family of 4. That is more than enough to raise a family of 4. And we're sitting over here telling people that you need to go out there and you have to own a single income, make $100 and some $1,000 a year. Even though I just put the numbers in the chat, the average man starts out at about $30,000 a year and he tops out at 60 at retirement. And that's regardless of the job. That's regardless of the job. We're talking about regular people who work the real jobs in this country. Your electricians, your plumbers, your maintenance men, your construction workers. These are the men that's keeping this country going. And we're looking at them and saying, you're not enough. What you doing ain't enough, bro.
And it's a farce to think that everyone is going to make it to the top 1%, top 5% even, top 10% even. let's just use those numbers
Listen,
right
the
there.
average, the
Hold
average
on,
family
hold on,
is
y'all. Hold that thought real
75K.
quick. Hold that thought real quick. Let me go ahead and get Luis in there. And they got to cut out. Go ahead, Luis.
Yeah. This whole money talk, you know what I'm saying, has like really put a lot of people in the chokehold. And I think that there was a moment in the conversation this evening that I felt like the main underlying premise or thesis of this all isn't so much about the money. You know what I'm saying? It isn't about so much the career path, the money, you know what I'm saying, even finding tangible skills. I think it's more about, you know what I'm saying, finding somebody who best aligns with you and understands where you're heading. You know what I'm saying? I think at one point, you know what I'm saying? I think at one point we started to kind of focus on, you know what I'm saying, her message to men in particular, right? Like there's a bar. There's certain women are going to present to certain men. You know what I'm saying? Some might reach it, some might not. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think it's incumbent on you to kind of move around and kind of find the woman that best receives you. You know what I'm saying? I think we were just a little bit too stuck on the money component as opposed to the message. So I think that kind of going back what Shan said, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta level up. You know what I'm saying? Mediocrity is not really something to be promoted. You know, so that's all I got.
I do have a question for y'all. What about what I just described is simply just living and not doing well? When I described how much it costs for the average American to make it in this country, what about that said, oh, these people are just living. They're not really doing well.
No, what you described is the ideal setup, Sweeney. I mean, I look at that's the way most families are, and there's nothing wrong with that. What she's describing as leveling up is not leveling up. I mean, just getting more money is. I mean, there's nothing behind that. So, I like seeing the regular middle class families that's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Both of them working, making enough to live within their means. They can be ambitious to want more, and to maybe that involves taking a risk or two here and there. But like at some point, we need to learn how to be content, but still striving. If that makes sense. Like we shouldn't be so hung up on money and status and respect and stuff like that. That's what's messing our community up.
Nelson, explain
Nelson,
that.
real quick,
We should be content but still striving. To me, that's oxymoronic. So explain to me how that works, because how are you content? Why, if you're content, why still strive?
Content is not complacent. So I'm okay with, if I'm in a state that I'm in, that I'm making $60K a year, and this is what my family structure looks like right now. Okay, that's not a problem. But I'm not going to look at myself as being less than or not making the mark or anything like that, because I'm not currently making 90, and I'm not going to make it my life's mission just to hit a certain number. I'm going to continue growing in knowledge, growing in wisdom, and as I'm doing those things, the money comes with that. But if you're not willing to develop your character before anything, then nothing else is really gonna matter. You can make it to the top of the income brackets, and you're still not gonna be anything good about yourself. Like I just don't believe it means all that much.
Also, what in this country do you do for an extended period of time and not eventually get paid more for?
Be a husband.
Okay, besides that, but like, what do you do? What job can anybody work in this country? And ride sharing is basically a gig economy job, and that shit, you actually losing money doing that shit. But like, I'm a barber. I started out, when I started cutting hair as a barber, I was charging $10 a haircut. $10 a haircut. I'm at 40 now. And that's only with 6 years of experience, professional experience. No, I've been cutting since 2016 professionally. How many years is that? Is that 8? That's only with 8 years of experience. Naturally, with inflation, and with skill, you get paid more. You see that on the job. Naturally, as you progress through your job, the longer you work the job, raises come along, this, that, and the third. That's why I put that stat out that most people start at 30,000 and by retirement, they topping out at about 60, 65. That's your real American person. And this is how I know a lot of y'all are living above your means. Somebody said, "Oh, to live comfortably, your kids need to go to college." How can you say that 92,000 is enough if your kids don't go to college? College is an elite institution. Everybody ain't meant to go to college. Most of y'all are meant to. If your parents were plumbers and goddamn electricians and your mama was a secretary, that's kind of the area your ass is supposed to be in. Because that's what they can afford for you to go to. You go on and you go to a trade school because college is an elite institution. It wasn't meant for everybody to go. That's how you wind up seeing people who wind up $30, $60, $70,000 in debt. And I'm gonna tell you, y'all want to know how most women accrue most of their college loan debt? Forbearances and deferments. They graduate with only $40,000 in student loan debt. They defer that shit for 4 years afterwards, to put it in forbearance for 4-5 years, and that shit will balloon to 120,000 almost overnight.
Career students, we call them.
40,000.
I bullshit.
That's maybe 1 year for out of state students.
Well, yeah, out of state. Well, I'm going off of when I was in college, but like now it's probably even more. And most of them, like I worked in student loan collections, bro. People were putting forbearances on their accounts, and in less than, because what happens is when you come out with a student loan, right? That's how much you owe. Say, for instance, you say, okay, well, I can't pay it for the first 6 months. Those payments are still due, and they rack up on you. So you owe $900 a month to pay off your student loan debt. So you'll sit there on the forbearance. You'll say, okay, I can't pay it right now. You'll stop payments. And then the moment you put another forbearance on there or go into repayment, everything that you accrued compounds on top of the loan. So if you missed $1,000 a month payment for 10 months, that's almost that's $10,000 thrown on top of your loan in less than 10 months. Just on forbearances alone. So that's how a lot of them even accrue it. Everybody's not meant to go to college. So all this, well, my kids are supposed to go to college on my income, that's bullshit. No, they're not. That's why you're supposed to make sure your kids got scholarships and shit, and you make them apply for all those scholarships and stuff, because that's the only way your kid realistically is going to get into college.
Not so. But a lot of it, 80% of that is solid. That's why you start early and build your financial house. You start putting money aside, and then that could offset some of the costs if your kids don't get scholarships or anything like that. That's why you have to start your financial game plan early and stuff like that. But you made a lot of sense, Sweeney. And most of those people that graduate are not going into jobs to help them pay immediately for that debt that they incurred. And then they have to push it back and do whatever they can until they find something. God forbid they didn't do that 4 years, and that job that they wanted to do is now obsolete. Then they have to figure it out from that point on. And that's where the point that you brought up comes in, which is spot on.
Hey, Sweeney, before we cut up at it, you got this. You want to explain what I'm about to play?
Yeah, basically it explains to women. And this dude, I love this dude. He called the whole math on TikTok and on YouTube, basically. And this clip basically explains to women you can only have 2 of the 3 when it comes to this triangle. And he created a triangle based on how society works. And he says, on this triangle, you can only choose 2 because that's how society actually works. You can roll a clip off of that.
No body counts, no commitment, f***ing on the first date. Only 2 of these things can be popular. That's how the physical universe works. People seem to like these engineering triangles. This one is equal pay by law, men pay for everything, and men have no hoes. If you all want men who earn more, but you all want to earn the same, then that disqualifies most men, and you gotta fight over the tail. I don't make the rules, I just draw them. Everyone asked me to do another engineering triangle today. Here it is.
The matrix of like finding a woman. You only get to pick two. So you've got the triangle, you've got hot, you've got sane, and then you've got single. You only get to pick two. If she's hot and she's sane, then she's definitely not single. If she's hot and she's single, she's definitely not sane. And if she's sane and she's single, well, she's definitely not hot.
So there you go. Sane, single, hot, pick two. I'm going to add at most. I don't want to leave the girls out. Here's one for men. Hot, rich, and no hoes. Pick two if you're above a 7. Otherwise, pick 1. I hope to eventually reduce all choices to a web of interconnected triangles. There might be one in there about simping. Maybe there's one about the honeymoon cycle. If you know any more, tell me in the comments. This one might be like, have female friends, have a girlfriend, peace of mind.
That one was funny. Peace of mind. But no, basically he's saying that in society, women ask for, they requested to be able to make equal pay, equal money, right? So he said either you can have equal money and men pay. What do you say? You can either have equal money and men pay, but they don't have no hoes, but you can't have, but they have hoes or something like that. Or they can have money and no hoes, but then your ass got to pay. Or you can have pay, you can have equal pay, no hoes, but then the man ain't going to be rich. However you want to pick that, you can only pick two on that triangle. And that's how the real world works.
Hey, Sweeney, I'm kind of glad you brought that point up because I wanted to kind of reference something that was said earlier. And it basically was alluding to that black women basically have this mindset and others don't, right? That was a TikTok video. And a lot of us live in Instagram world. When we're in this Instagram world, for the most part, it is a bit different. You see most black people behaving like that. Step into the TikTok side a little bit. I'm telling you, it's a different animal. And in real life, I deal with a lot of people who are not black, right? White women are behaving like this too. Other races are behaving like this. It's a Western culture thing, right? Period. And a lot of white men are dealing with the same struggles. And I don't know if people understand it or not, but it was the white men who actually started the passport bro movement. So we're all dealing with the same struggle. It's just a Western civilization thing.
Let me end with this. What I've heard a lot tonight is that, you know what, just that's the reality, or this is just the reality, or this is just, this is just the way it's gonna be. And I understand reality. I took the red pill. I get it. I understand the real world. I'm just simply saying why we got to be last, black men. Why we got to be the last ones on the totem pole when it comes to saying, well, fuck it, that's just how it is. It ain't gonna be enough out there for us to all make it to earn an average amount of such. Why we got to be down here and just say, all right, well, that's just how the hood is. I simply want. And what, like the chick in the video, like, I don't care about the messenger. One thing she said she was teaching her students or whatever. I guess she's a coach of some sort. She was saying that ain't gonna be, it's not a millionaire for everybody. Y'all ladies out here looking for all the millionaires. It's not enough millionaires out there. You got to find somebody that's not, you got to find somebody that's not a millionaire and be content with that. And I guess maybe that's a struggle she's having because all the women want a millionaire. I'm simply saying, and this is to my man Nelson, when he said, be content, but keep striving. I want to just remove the be content part, Nelson. And is it so bad psychologically, because you're a professional in that, to just remove that part and just keep striving? Why can't we just leave it there? Because one thing, if we talk about reality, if you give somebody an opportunity to be lazy, they'll take it. If you give somebody a chair to sit on, they'll sit, even though they have the strength to stand. And I don't like it when we, as black men, say, well, that it just is what it is. It just, life is what it is. So just be happy with what you got, man. And if you got enough money to get you a cool little car and a cool little apartment somewhere, and you okay, and you could pay for your high-speed internet at home, you good, and you get you an iPhone. And I'm like, we can do better than that. And we should strive to do better than that. And we should want to do better than that. And until we do better than that as individuals, we shouldn't talk like what we have, mediocrity, is okay.
Shane, I
That's
don't
all I'm
disagree.
saying.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you when you talk about striving. But if you take away the ability to be content, then what that breeds is, as you are striving, if you hit a patch where you feel like you're not progressing at any point, it breeds inadequacy. And so you shouldn't be going forward in life and seeking all of this advancement, because if you don't do this, then something's wrong with you, or you're not adequate. But you learn how at every stop that you're at every stage that you're at, you learn how to be content in that state for that time while you're still striving. So that's why I don't think it's oxymoronic. I just think that we get so caught up in these perceptions of who, in IG has really done this to us, in TikTok, these images and these perceptions of what it means to be a real man, what it means to be high value. And oftentimes it's just chasing money, chasing women, like things that just don't have, I'm always big on character. Like that's why I love psychology, is focusing on how to be your best self. And part of that is being content. Part of that is learning how to live with integrity and love and patience and, wisdom and humility. All those things, I always just look at its root, those fundamental things. If you focus on them, then everything else is going to fall in line. Money is going to fall in line. Like you know what I mean? I just think that we're skipping over that and immediately searching for, I got to get this bag. I got to have these women. And it's not working to our advantage in our community.
Yeah, and Shane, I wanted to correct something real quick. If you talk about black men, I'm absolutely agreeing with you, right? When I spoke about men, I'm talking about men in general, regardless of race. That's where we are. You know what I mean? And it brought up a quote that I heard from Yvette Carnell, right? This happened. She made this tweet back when they was having a discussion on Cheesecake Factory, right? And she said, white married couples with $750,000 in savings and investments looking at this list like, huh? We go to Applebee's all the time for date night. Meanwhile, wealthless people passing this around in debate. That's how I feel when I'm looking at her. You're over here telling people to live a lifestyle that is unrealistic for majority of Americans, not just black Americans, for majority of Americans. And we all having a discussion on whether motherfuckers should be able to take multiple trips a year to Paris and France, and that's not your regular American lifestyle. I get, we should at least, if we're at the bottom, nobody should be satisfied with being at the bottom. I'm saying, why are we sitting over here looking at regular American people who are doing regular American, doing just fine, and looking at them? And I'm talking about white families and saying that's not enough. You need to be out here buying Birkin bags and taking trips out of the country and all of that. And if you ain't doing that, you ain't doing it right. That's nuts to me. That's what I'm speaking to. I'm not, now what you talking about, absolutely correct. Black men shouldn't be satisfied with being a bottom rung in income. We should definitely, because right now we aren't making what the average American outside of black Americans is making. When we should definitely strive for that and beyond. But what we're talking about as far as what she's trying to explain as a lifestyle that we should all be striving for is absolutely ridiculous.
Hypocrisy. And again, Shannon, your points are valid, but you're making it sound like we're advocating for mediocrity rather than pointing out where she is a hypocrite. You can say one thing. She initially started off with 50K is not even a benchmark to be even speaking to her. Then she's telling her students and whomever they may be that all of you guys are not going to get a millionaire, but find someone who's willing. Then she puts a nice bow on it and tells you, well, this is going to be and this is not going to be. And then you have two birds, and I don't care. Those are birds clapping at this nonsense and insanity that she's pushing out because she's speaking out of both sides of her face. at no way, I don't think any man on this panel that you challenge, Shannon, to hold firm and stand for something, because we're all colored men on this panel, that we were advocating for mediocrity. We were pointing out the cancer of someone who is a hypocrite and speaking hypocrisy.
All right. We'll get to these super chats, man. Ikene says doing better is not spin/sponsor her lifestyle. Harrison Davis $5 says salute. Ikene again says black men are below because they don't manufacture anything. And Sub-Zero $10 says Shannon Hua from a Marine veteran, the talented 10th by W.E. Du Bois says it all. 1 in 10 black men that have cultivated the ability to become leaders of the black community, if you want one. I thank
But
everybody
that's-
that contributed.
Can I say something real quick, JR? That even with that talented 10th, like that's a great premise, and I completely agree with that. The idea was that we raise up a certain percentage of men or pour into them, and devote all our resources to them so that they can pull everybody else up. The problem with that is if we develop them with a money, power, respect kind of attitude or mindset, instead of instilling a sense of community and things like that, then they're gonna go on and become rich people that don't give to their community or don't seek to bring people up. That's why I'm on character. I don't think we should be complacent in any place that we're in, but we do need to learn that not having a lot of money is not an indictment on who you are as a person.
All right. It's a great show, gentlemen. Want to thank everybody that has come out to watch King Talk tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you go ahead and share the stream for anybody that you think would benefit from this. Let's make sure we support each other. We have a bunch of great men on the panel right now, and they all doing some amazing things. So just check out their IGs, their YouTube channels, and let's go ahead and support them as well and everything that they're doing. Also, if you guys in the Dallas area, there's a link pinned to the top of the chat. On March the 9th, we got a masquerade event that's happening. So we would love to see you guys there. Make sure you guys click that link and get your tickets. Also, shout out to the sponsor again, Teach Hanley. Make sure you guys go ahead and get your Teach Hanley. The link is in the description. They got some amazing men products for your skin. Also, Sugar Curls and me did collab. And we brought you guys Assured Man King on top. This is for the beard. And it's good for the skin as well. So the oil can also be rubbed. Once you get done rubbing on your beard, feel free to rub it on your skin because it's skin friendly as well. I think we touched on everything. Shout out to all my green gang. Shout out to all the women. I know the women like to show up for King Talk. Hopefully you guys have got some of the perspectives and insight on how men think. So we love to see you women over here as well. So great show, y'all. Until next time, man, we out. Maintaining your beard isn't just style, it's self-respect. A well-groomed beard boosts confidence and leaves a lasting impression. Elevate your look. Embrace the importance of beard care today.
Wait. I know what you're going to say. I'm not a man and I don't have a beard, but he does. And so does he. and we are going to help you grow, enhance, and groom your beard and hair. So even if you're not a man, yet you know one, we have something for you. Now, we all know someone, or we ourselves may want to grow our beard from our facial hair. We may want to grow our hair on our scalp, but we don't know how. We've been struggling. I have 3 points for you that's going to help you grow your beard, and not just grow it, but hydrate it, allow it to come in healthy and shiny, and be able to groom it properly without all the flaking and the itchiness that sometimes comes with grooming the beard. Okay, number 1, be patient and consistent. Now, growing your beard is going to take time. It's going to take at least 4 to 6 weeks for your stubble to start coming in. And I'm touching this, y'all, but you know, I'm not trying to grow my beard. I'm trying to help you grow yours. In those 4 to 6 weeks, you may notice a little itching, a little irritation, a little discomfort. All of those things are normal. Just don't give up and commit to the process. Okay, so number 2, resist the urge to trim and shape your beard for the first 4 to 6 weeks. Just let it grow. We all have different growth rates for our hair and for our beards, even our mustache. This is controlled by genetics and also our internal health. So just let it grow. Number 3, don't hesitate to start now using products. Yes, there are products that will help cleanse, hydrate, and groom your beard. When you start now developing an early regimen, this will get you in the routine of skin and hair care, because healthy beards don't just start from the hair coming in, it starts from your skin. So we have the products for you. We have a 4-piece system where we will cleanse, moisturize with the hydrating lotion. Then you will be able to use the balm for styling, softness, and shine. And then you're going to lock in all that beautiful humectants and moisturization with our oil for your beard, hair, and body.
Just gotta take a moment to see. Oh, my beard looking so good. Man. I'll make sure y'all click that link.
So Lapeef and Sugar Crows have teamed up to bring an awesome line to you all. We have been working on this to make it just right for you and your loved ones. So please, if you love this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you love these 3 facts. Okay, so and what if, like, after I said all of that, you still don't know where to start? We do offer 30-minute consultations where we will walk you through from an internal and topical standpoint of how you can enhance, grow, and groom your beard as well as your hair. Please tune in to our next video. We're going to give you more value, more information, and don't forget to purchase our products online at assuredmannaturals.com. There you can get 15% off when you use code Lapeef15, and we'll see you in the next video.